And gentlemen, Deja Vu here, and I'm now bringing you the fourth set between STX and CJ Entis from the first week of the Pro League. And my voice is far better now. Towards the end of that last game, it was bad. It actually kind of hurt to continue to talk, so I had to kind of wait a little while to cast this game. But I think that this is the one that most people, myself included, were particularly interested in. This is going to be Cal and Savior on Fighting Spirit. So this is a map, obviously it's a new map, so once again, it's no real strategies have been worked out or anything. There isn't really any imbalance that's known or really much known about the map in general between in any matchup really. So I think it will be interesting to see what happens here, and I think that's actually an advantage for Savior, if anyone, just because if you come down to pure execution of known strategies today between a top Protoss like Cal and Savior, who's kind of declining in terms of his skill overall, you have to give Cal just an overwhelming advantage. But on a new map like this, where there's still a lot of tricks possibly that Savior could have discovered, some maybe some pathing issues, all the little things that necessarily aren't worked out yet or necessarily known. If he can take advantage of some of those, since he is a veteran player and he is very good, those are definitely places that he can try and get a little bit of advantage, because otherwise he's just a huge underdog in this match against Cal. Cal is just a real powerhouse. He is a dragon, and he doesn't really go through slumps. So you very rarely get Cal on a bad day. That's one of the things that you can say about him that you can't really say about too many other of the Protoss. Really, the only six the 6 Protoss dragons. Most of the other ones go through a lot of slumps. They're up and down. Most of them are struggle in their PvZ other than Bisu. But Cal doesn't really have any weaknesses. He does pretty well in all of his matchups, and I'd really have to be favoring him big time here against the Maestro, against Ma Jae-yoon. Unfortunately, even though I say this every single time I see Savior play, and I think everyone wants to see him win, but it's just too late. I think he's over the hill in my opinion, and while he does come up with some good play here and there, and like show some of his former brilliance for just a few minutes in this game or a few minutes in that match, and for a couple games maybe here and there, it's just not consistent enough, and it's just not there. I think after this season we will. I think Savior's gonna have to retire. I hate to say it, but I just can't see Savior staying as a viable option for CJ Entis past this season, and they're gonna have to start looking elsewhere, I think, for their backup to their newfound Zerg powerhouse and effort, which is a really sad thing to say, but that's my opinion anyways. That Savior is gonna have to fall off the map soon enough. Soon enough. But Cal is great. Cal still is. Let's just look at the percentages here. Cal is 56.7. Oh my lord, almost 57% versus Zerg, and Savior actually is. If I remember correctly, Savior's pretty good versus Protoss. Unfortunately, the page isn't loading for me, so I don't really know his exact statistics. But Savior, he used to have really awesome Defiler play, and Defilers against can really, against both Terran and Protoss, that can be really, really effective. But anytime that you see Savior get to his Defilers, a Protoss player has to be worried about swarms and plagues and all sorts of other things. Savior can really, if Savior goes for an early hive tech sort of build, I think that could be an advantage for him in trying to use that tech as much as he can. And I hope we get this game under way soon. So I found out that if you download, there's a huge difference between downloading the John 747 VODs and then downloading off of either Navake or the Team Liquid site. The Team Liquid sites have much larger chunks of the game. So you see both like the first 4 minutes before the game, and you see like 4 minutes afterwards, where where the teams come out and they do their bows, and you get to see some of the post-game analysis from the Koreans and everything. So there's a lot more to it if you watch the TL VODs, and that's where I got these from. So there's a lot more pre-match stuff than normal. I don't know if the rest of you have noticed it, but I've definitely have noticed that. But Fighting Spirit is the map that has bases in the 4 corners, and then you have your natural expansion counterclockwise to your base, and then you have that option of right outside your natural you have like a river, and you can stay on your side of the river to get to your third base, or you can cross the bridges to a pretty wide open area in the middle. The only real obstacle in the middle is there's like 2 walls on the right and the left of a mineral double expansion, kind of like Andromeda's double expansion. Other than that, it's symmetrical on all sides, and that's about it. There is no other real features to the map. It's not I wouldn't say it's particularly interesting. It's a pretty straightforward standard map. So if I had to say, if any of the new maps were going to become very, very popular on like iCup and stuff, I could see this map becoming very, very popular very, very fast. Just because it is, there aren't a lot of quirks to it. It's pretty simple, and you know, that's the sort of stuff that you're going to see popularized on iCup, unfortunately enough. And it looks like the players are ready. It looks like Savior and Cal are ready. I don't know if they're in the actual swarm of screens yet or not. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. And the crowd even seems like they're waiting for this to get started, playing along with their iPhones and stuff. And oddly enough, you'll notice that not everyone was covering their faces there. Usually, the girls especially all cover their faces. I don't know if they just didn't notice the camera or what, but they didn't really mind too much. And here we go. Now we're going to have the game started. It's going to be Savior versus Godzilla. I always forget that Cal has decided to call himself Godzilla. I don't really know why. I hate the name. But actually, I think I do know why. I think it's just because they have that clan called Cal, so he's trying to differentiate himself. So we're going to have Savior in the top right in purple, and Savior, yeah. And then we're going to have Cal in the bottom right in white that looks like her, beige. So we're going to have positions that are near positions, no cross positions here. So it's going to be important for, definitely for scouting. I didn't see, and Savior's going to get his Overlord going in the correct direction. So that's going to be, we'll see how long it takes Cal to find Savior. This is a 4-player map, so as Cal does his fast expand, it's going to be important for him to find Savior as fast as possible. And if Cal goes and scouts clockwise, and he gets to Savior that late, he will be forced to just naturally. He's going to have to throw up a forge and a couple cannons just in case. So that could be a disadvantage for him. And here we go. Let's see where that probe goes as it crosses that bridge, whether it goes to the left or if it goes to the top. And wow, they are really focused on her. I wonder if she has something to do with one of the players or something. I don't know. And he's actually going to go to the left, so it's going to be very, very late that he's going to get the scout off on Savior. So he's going to have to probably play it pretty safe, play it more conservatively than Protoss players generally want to. And he's going to have to throw down the forge and cannons. And hopefully he really does, because that's an overpool build from Savior, just throwing up his spawning pool now. And so that will be some early Zergling pressure coming Cal's way, and hopefully he doesn't try to like skimp on his cannons or anything, and as some Protoss players unfortunately do. And hopefully he does it correctly and just goes for it very, very quickly. And now he's sending out a second probe as well to go scout out the top right just in case, so that way he knows whether it's a 12 pool or whatever is coming his way. So that's a very smart play by Cal as well, as he is worried about the possibility that he wasn't going to get a scout off, and he was correct to actually send out that second probe, so that's going to help him out a lot here. And Savior's going to try and throw down a hatchery here. Yeah, he is going to beat that probe, otherwise that pesky little probe could have gotten in his way big time there. And I believe Cal knows, based upon the timing of that hatchery, and now that he's wandered in and seen the pool, he's got to know exactly what's coming his way. So he should be throwing up cannons as we speak. Actually going to throw up his Nexus first, and then going to throw up a cannon. Yeah, with the distances of the map, he can get away with that. He should have time, more than enough time to still get up a cannon or two before Savior's Zerglings get into play. So good play by Cal sending out that second probe. That was very, very useful knowledge for him, and good choice as well. The first Zerglings are out, and it looks like they're going to ignore the probe completely. I actually think those Zerglings had a pretty decent surround on that probe. They might have actually been able to, maybe if Savior wanted to micro it, he might have actually been able to take down that probe if he wanted to, but instead he's just going to try and bypass the probe and try and get some early pressure on. And that probe doing a good job of just interfering with the pathing of the Zerglings, and those cannons are going to be very, very close. I think one cannon will be up, and the second one may, or I don't think that second one's going to be up. Yeah, second one's not going to be up, only one cannon. And Savior should, if Savior had gone for Savior might have been able to get a run by, although Cal was bringing in a couple extra probes as well. So maybe it was so maybe he wouldn't have been able to get through. But I think there was a chance there that if he had forced his way through, he might have been able to slip into the main base and maybe do some damage. But that's okay. He definitely got there in time and forced some extra probes being pulled off, so he's putting on that little bit of early pressure there and putting up his extractor now. So this is going to end a hidden base there at the towards the top left, the natural expansion of the top left main. Savior's going to throw up a hidden expansion. The natural place for him to go next would have been the 3 o'clock position, but he doesn't really, I guess he doesn't want to, he wants to keep that hidden as much as possible and allow Cal to think that he's going for a 2-base build when he's actually going for a 3-base build, and see if he can catch him by surprise. That can definitely be very, very effective here. and Cal just now getting up his gateway, so we should be